Hi everyone, this is Dr. Weideman and I'll be your professor for this course this semester. So I wanted to take a few minutes to help you become familiar with our My Courses course and also with the MyMathLab course. So in My Courses, from the course homepage, which is shown here, where you'll always land when you first come into the course, you'll notice that on the left-hand side, there's a news area, and there'll always be some news item there, either reminders or a summary of what we're working on this week in the class. The current calendar items will show up on the left-hand side. All the way down on the right-hand side, all the way down the left-hand side is going to be the link we're going to use to get to MyMathLab in just a minute. And there's also information here about Honor Lock, which we'll be using for the proctored midterm and the proctored final exam. From the top toolbar, let's go ahead and click on Course Content. And you notice on the left-hand side, you have a table of contents, and we're going to start and begin here. This is the most important place to start. When you first start in the course, before you complete your syllabus quiz with a score of 100%, you're only going to see these 3 modules. Once you finish that syllabus quiz with a score of 100%, you'll also then be able to see the first 3 modules in the course. So let's go ahead and go into begin here. And if you notice here, you have an option to expand and collapse all the submodules. This one, for instance, has a few submodules in it. So let's go ahead and take a look here in the first submodule. And this includes the syllabus, which is important. You want to make sure you read that, a detailed weekly schedule of all the assignments in the course with their due dates, and then also that syllabus quiz that you need to submit with a score of 100%. Also in this module, there's some materials to help you get started in the course. There's a checklist. There's also this printed out message to welcome you to the course, which also has a link to the video that you're watching right now. There's also a link there to my instructor page, which includes my office location and office hours. A link to proctor test information, and there's your first discussion topic in the course, your class introduction. Continuing on the left toolbar here, you have a folder called Analysis of Test Answers. So after each due date for a unit test, I'll post an analysis of questions that were missed by some students that seem to be a little bit more difficult, and you might find those helpful when you're studying for your proctored exams. And then the unit modules are set up in the same format. There's 5 units in the course, and the first unit we'll be studying is on sets, and there's a little description of the topics in the course, an introduction that lists the assignments, the learning objectives, the assignment checklist. And there's also in the unit modules a lot of other great information here. So you've got the activities you're required to do. You've got notes on each section, which I put together based on the textbook. You've also got a link to lecture videos for each of the section, a link to, these are YouTube videos that I created, worked example videos, and then each unit also has a discussion topic, and the link to that will be will be shown right here. I'm sorry, that's the assignments, and then here's your discussion topic right here. All right, and let's see, what else do I want to go over with you in my courses? So, and most of the modules also have an additional materials section, which is links to interesting, there's also PowerPoints in here, some websites and so forth that are related to the topic that we're studying. You might find those interesting to click on. They're not required, but you might find those informational. I wanted to point out on your course homepage, let's go back just for a second, to make sure that you remember that you've got student tools here. And the student tools give you an option to contact your advisor. Library and tutoring is important because you can go here to get an appointment for tutoring. You can click here to email me. You can click here for Titan Care, and you can click here to sign up to get text messages from me. All right, and on the top toolbar, you have access to a communication tab, which gives you access to a list of all the students in the course. An email option, I'm going to suggest you use the email option here on your student tools. It's a lot easier. Your grades can be linked here. And then to get to Honor Lock, I think my tab might look a little different than yours, but the Honor Lock option is also going to be up here in your top toolbar when you want to go and take your sample test. And just real quickly before I go back, well, let's go to my MyMathLab, actually. Let's do that now. So on the course homepage, the Pearson widget is all the way on the left-hand side, all the way at the bottom. When you click on that, you're going to see a window. The very first time, let me go out and show you. in your handout. The very first time you click there, you're going to be asked to, first thing you're going to be asked to do is agree to the user agreement. Then you're going to be asked to either register with your current Pearson account or to create an account. Once you do one of those two, then you'll see a screen like this, which will say, do you have your access code? And if you say yes, it'll say, okay, click here and enter the access code. You can purchase the access code, or you can also do a temporary access without paying for 14 days. You will have to still pay for that within that 14-day window in order to keep your account active, but you do have 3 options from that registration window. All right, so once you've done your registration, when you go to the MyMathLab course, and let me also show you something else. If you're ever having trouble, there's a help option here, and if you need to contact Pearson, you want to be aware that there's something called Get Diagnostics. They're going to want to know about your registration, so they may ask you to go and get the diagnostics if you happen to contact Pearson for assistance. So when you go to the MyMathLab course, the first thing you'll see is a calendar, and it'll show the due dates. And so if we scroll ahead here, your first set of assignments are going to be due in January, 1 more week. So you've got assignments here due on the 18th, some assignments due on the 24th. On the left toolbar over here, you've got units of study, which are set up just like the units in our My Courses course. There's 5 units. You've got a link here to the assignments. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that because I want to talk to you a bit about this. So all the assignments are listed here with their due dates. And I wanted to point out a couple of things. For the unit test, you do have to get 60% on each unit homework, each section homework, in order to unlock the test. And that little green flag will keep track of which homeworks you still need to reach the 60% point on. And I'm going to pull up a homework. Let's just pick randomly a problem in here. So when you're working on a problem in MyMathLab, you will have the ability to get some more help depending on the question. So this question has help me solve it, which will help you solve this problem, but when you get finished, you're going to get a new problem. View an example will solve a similar problem. This one will give you a link to the textbook. You can send me an email about the problem, and you can also print. So each question on homework will have those question helps. Those do not appear on the unit tests. And I also wanted to finish up by mentioning that the course does have a proctored midterm and a proctored final exam. And you do have a module here on your course content page called HonorLock Information. And you have to take the HonorLock sample test at least once to unlock the midterm and the final, no exceptions. Even if you've used it before, I just want to make sure that your computer is set up this semester. So you're going to want to plan some time over the next few weeks to get that HonorLock sample test out of the way. It does not count as a grade. There's only 3 questions on it. They're basic questions about MyMathLab, but it tells me that you know how to use the HonorLock system. This information here explains it. Down here, if you've never used HonorLock to take a MyMathLab test, this video here will show you what happens when you do that. You might want to take a look to watch that video. It's a short video. It shows you what happens. HonorLock will insert the password for you in the MyMathLab assignment. You can't go to MyMathLab in order to take those proctored exams. You have to use the link from your top toolbar up here to HonorLock. So I look forward to working with you this semester. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions about the course.